Hello again, people. We are back once again. I'm joined by Naza, and this time,
Yo.
plus one beta versus HIME. And I mean, both these teams I've watched play, I've seen play, I've experienced playing with and against them, and both of them aren't teams to be taken lightly. And I mean, we'll start by talking about plus one beta and Naza. I know you've played with these people more than I have, so you probably know a little bit more about how, all of their players play.
All right. Well, if you guys don't know who plus one beta is or what plus one beta is, plus one beta is an extension to plus one, a legacy team that's been around since pretty much the launch of the game. Plus one beta is also a very skilled team that's been doing pretty well last season, so I expect the same for this set.
Yep. They've gone through a couple of weapon swaps as well as, a couple of player swaps. Silk, formerly the red yo-yo / spinner player, the previous season, now switching back to the hammer. And Comet, who was formerly on the hammer, now is back on the trick ball due to how how the patch notes went. Yeah.
Yeah. Those patch notes are something
else. The patch
else.
notes one, yeah. The patch notes were something else. But Silk, from speaking to them, they don't seem too bothered by having to be back on hammer duty. In fact, they're like, yes, I thoroughly enjoy being on hammer duty, and this is something that really means a lot to me to be back in this position of power. Now, he didn't say it exactly like that, but take it as you will. And
pretty much. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Rounding out the rest of their roster, Rolu and Scarfy, Ninja God, BR player, Caliber. Rolu, pretty sure he's a legendary ninja, Caliber. Like this team is Omega offense. Right, and they're of course flanked by Comet's newfangled trick ball.
Very scary setup, which also means that we're probably gonna have a lot of variety with maps and probably like maybe a Shinobi City or Eagle City, perhaps. Like probably be seeing that,
especially with Silk, because when Silk is in charge, they'll do some crazy stuff. And they were the ones that were counter picking maps that normally most teams last season would just run WNA. Plus one beta was one of those teams with Silk at the helm that was like, hey, what if we just don't go WNA?
That was a phenomenon at that one point in time.
And the other side, I mean, do I even need to talk about Hime's members? Look, every single Shinobi, Slay, Ori, every single one of these players are high level aggressive players, like mechanically skilled, works well under pressure, right? Every single one of them. And of course they have the anchor in Cutie, not the other Cutie that plus one that's on plus one's main roster, but slightly different one, 0 question marks instead of 2. But Cutie anchoring with the hammer play really serves as the core for this team that while they might be prone to fluctuation due to them playing aggressive weapons and wanting to make plays all the time, they still have a constant point flow, point source that will come from Cutie.
Oh yeah. Well, of course, Hime is a new team. And it has a lot of familiar faces like Ochi, Shinobi, Slay, Ori, and so on. A very skilled team that should prove worthy to fight on the top. Okay.
Yep, indeed. And map 1, we're gonna see Croissant Arena. And I know plus one beta has been playing this map often. They've been practicing on this map. I know a couple of their members actually thoroughly enjoy playing this map. But for Hime, I'm not quite sure how much practice they've had on this map.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Ochi is not always going to be like, we're not going to play this map. He'll play every map.
That's true. and if
so, we'll be seeing him.
And if Ochi is playing every map, that the people on his team are going to be playing every map too. It's inevitability. So in regards to how I think this game will go, I don't know. Both these teams, right, are hyper offense. But I think just by having Trick Ball for +1 beta, I think that will be the difference maker, right? You frustrate the katanas on the other side of the map, network connection timed out. Okay. Well, hold on a second. We'll be right back. Hello, we're back. Network error. If it happens again, you know, we'll figure something out. Might be a problem on my end.
Serious beef with Ninjala again.
Hey, I'm just saying, sometimes Ninjala does me dirty. Especially when it doesn't give me points. When Ninjala doesn't give me points, when I think I deserve points, it just makes me a little sad,
I wonder if I'll get like an internet connection master or something.
Oh, I'm about to look. When I get these emo slots, I'm about to make a network connection one, frame one. Just because I know this is something that's gonna be a constant annoyance, I guess is the best way of putting it. But
oh my gosh, dude, I forgot. You know what that reminds me of? Like the home out thing that everyone used to do back in season 1.
What, home XA? True combo?
Yeah, it's a good combo too. It was good for a lot of reasons, but it even worked in room battles as well. So there used to be like an emo on Twitch that I did see. It was just like a home out, seeing Fat Island and everything like that. It was a really fun one.
I'm about to politely ask whoever made that emote to make a similar one for me, just so just so I can use it for a situation like this. I am happy though. First problem coming in at what, 4.5 hours? I'll take that any day of the week. It's better than OBS crashing, that's for sure.
Okay, well that is true. That is true.
Yep. Right now,
actually,
we're just waiting on Slay to join this second room.
All right.
Maybe a little bit, but.
So back to +1 beta in HIME. Like, you said that you don't really see either, or you kind of see like you just want to weigh it out and see what your predictions are.
100%.
I'd say that it's scary. Like these two are really scary, skilled, like individual teams, and they can really do a lot of damage. So I'm not really too sure on who would have the upper hand, but if I were to like base it off of maps and stuff, I'd say that Eagle City does have a +1 beta advantage, just because of the comp with trick ball and hammer and stuff like that. It's very important of having a trick ball, and its rocket is very valuable if you know how to use it. So I can see that being the upper hand type situation for it. But I do see Croissant Arena being that map that HIME would definitely have control over.
Kind of similar to, the Firestorm game, right? Because Firestorm's team composition was, somewhat similar to what HIME is going to run, right? In regards to their aggression, and or even, right? Or even you can take the example of ID, right? Look how fast ID Blue opened the game for Firestorm after one missed play, right? One mess up by Firestorm, ID Blue jacked the lead from only 2k to how about 13k. And when you're running katana, double katana caliber, you have those kinds of fluctuation plays where the game can just swing in so many different directions that it really could just lead into just absolute disasters, right? And if you forced me to pick a team, I would have to go with +1 beta, only because they have the safety net of having the Sushi Axe trick ball combination.
True.
Well,
I do see one thing.
Yeah.
I do see one thing. With like I said before, with Croissant Arena. In Croissant Arena, if you make mistakes, you're gonna pay dearly for it. All right.
Absolutely.
You cannot. Because if you die way too many times, you'll basically lose course of the rotations, and they'll take over it. Unless if you try to go in there and take their rotations and basically just go streamline it for your own favor. But until that becomes the case, I'm not too sure. I still am leaning towards HIME on this one.
All right. Well, we'll settle our differences and differ our settlings, and we'll head into this game one. We'll head into this game one. +1 beta versus HIME B. Let's get into it.
Stream here, Tim. Thank you.
Yep. And right off the gate, you're really just seeing Kind of a standard start for both teams. Get some early action there. Rolu really facing the heat. Shinobi is on him, but really manages to get away. But not for long. He gets traded to KO, and I mean, +1 beta takes the really early, really preemptive lead. Really good polymorph by Comet on Ori, and Ori just gets traded for absolutely free. So this is continuing kind of standard, solid 1.6K lead for +1 beta, and it's kind of what I expected coming out of the gate.
Alright, there seems to be a really huge brawl going on over in Red Mount.
Good follow by Scarfy to get that KO.
Alright, taking that drone, sleeving is a good idea.
Yeah, Cutie going to a location where there's no drone at. They're going to be very sad when they get there and realize there's nothing for them to do. But
Cannot be missing out. Don't miss the bus.
Good, excellent conversion by Shinobi. Bread and butter, basic katana. Excellent play. And he has a sight set on Comet, but Comet wants nothing to do with it.
Got no time to waste. Get those rotations going. Pretty much. Nice tornado.
This is just a flash of color. Cutie is spinning in place, gets Epon, and +1 really just been increasing their lead, right? 1K lead, 1.6K, 2K lead. Now it's all the way up to 5.
It's a pretty high lead, but if they can be able to get that big drone stuff over in 100 seconds in, maybe they can be a huge turnaround.
All it takes is one big play, and maps like this can turn around. A 4K lead is nothing. Scarfy does a really good job avoiding Ori's punishing blade, and
amazing work with +1s, getting all these points and making sure that they can be able to get this drone.
This is the first big team fight, and it looks like because +1 beta arrived first, they have the numbers for it. But Shinobi says otherwise, takes out Rolu in the chaos. But
nice
parting you to
work.
semi, let's Comet trade back 1 for 1, and we're even.
Perfect polymorph.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Scarfy with the punishing blade. 1 minute left. I mean, this punishing blade could really just seal this game. Pop.
Ooh.
Pop. Huh? Scarfy?
Oh, I guess.
No. No, you don't pop punishing blade for a small drone. This is a zero about value punishing blade. You're getting a small drone, which you would have taken anyway, right? And your teammate's already throwing rocket at the big drone. I mean, this is just a wasted ninjutsu, right? Luckily,
I didn't really agree with that. Yeah.
Luckily,
I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, luckily the +1 has such big of a lead that a play like that wouldn't matter. But if this game was relatively close, that's a colossal throw. Scarfy gets traded off, and Shinobi takes out Silk. I mean, look, right? They get a nice little. Hime gets a nice point swing off of that, but at the end of the day, it's not really gonna matter. Good parry interrupt by Comet. And good double Epon by Rolu. And with 10 seconds left, I mean, an AK lead is insurmountable. Comet knows it. That's why he's reloading. Excellent start to game 1, but there are some things. There are some things that are really scary, right? Or if the games get any closer. So. Yeah, I mean, I expect WNA Academy. I mean, WNA Academy is just the standard, right? And especially since both Slay and Shinobi are heavy BR players, right? They're probably gonna want to feel comfort, but it's not like +1 beta. Not any of the members on their team don't slouch in BR either. Every single one of them has some stock in there. You know, some might be higher than others. Shout out Scarfy, Ninja God. But
true that.
Yeah. If anything, right, I expect this series to just bounce between Croissant Arena and WNA Academy, right? If he may manage to win, because until he may prove that Like that game, right? If I'm sitting in +1 beta shoes, I'm like, okay, these people, these guys on the other side of the map, they don't have a game plan for this map. So I'm just gonna keep attacking them with that mindset, or with that idea and with that map, until, you know, they make one and force me to, you know, go somewhere else. You know.
So what I do think that HIME needs to do is be careful with trying to be in so many interactions.
Yeah.
Just try to get those drones as much as you can. The only time that you should really be focusing on interactions is if, you know, someone tries to contest you, or whenever you're close to a drone, or if someone is just busy with a drone or whatever, right? If there's no drones like around in that area, get out of there, because there's other drones out there that you need to go pick up.
Yep. And I mean, just as I predicted, guess where we're going? Back to WNA Academy. I mean, it's the map that most teams are comfortable on. It's the map that most players are comfortable on. We're talking bread and butter, absolute basics. And yeah, I mean, I honestly think that HIME is counterpicking themselves, because WNA is one of those maps where it's like, even if you think you're comfortable on it, your opponent also is comfortable on it. Like WNA is just a counter pick. WNA isn't necessarily
very strong map.
It isn't necessarily a counter pick, and more of just like, we feel like our team is going to play better, right? Like, because I mean, we can't be 7 months in this game and you're gonna sit here as a fully formed team and say that, oh, we don't know how to play WNA Academy. It's just not something that happens. So, you know, when teams are deciding counter picks, right, and they go to WNA, sometimes I throw up the question mark sometimes, because it's like, why, right? The only reason it's a heat check. It's a heat check, right? When you go to WNA, you're like, all right, we're about to outplay these guys. I know we could have beat these guys last game, but it was the map. This time, hey, we're going to be on even playing field. They're going to get rolled, right? And most of the time, that's not necessarily the case. I mean, you've seen today, maps just swing from one team to the other on WNA. It's mostly anyone's game, right? And it comes down to how hot they are, especially in that 5-game series with ID versus Firestorm. But heading into the game, I mean, again, standard start from both teams. Absolute standard. The QD is in the middle of the map, which, especially as a hammer player, this is extremely greedy, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to get punished for it.
Hey, gotta be real careful.
Yeah. Kama getting bound
for your teammates.
Kama getting bound early, not going to get punished for it. Shinobi and Ori doing a really good job playing interference. Rolu wins the parry. Good polymorph by Common, and excellent team play by +1 beta. Scarfy, though. Oh my, Scarfy takes the 1v2, wins the 1v2, full confidence. Full confidence in their play. Rolu continuing the increased aggression, and Shinobi dead? Whiffs the conversion after charging Slash. So Rolu's actually going to live off of this. But, I mean, they're playing with fire with how low their HP total is.
Yeah, it seems like there's more drones coming in as well.
Yeah,
with the inner and mid.
As you can see in the background, the absolute massacre that's occurring. Pop Rolu, Punishing Blade, we'll see what they can do. Cutie with the bag, we'll see. Immediate punish? Mistimes the punish. We'll see, though. Cutie should not be able to get away from this one. But somehow they do. Just excellent play.
That was just skyrocket out there.
Shinobi, come on, Scarfy, this is BR, you can't be doing stuff like this. Excellent work by Shinobi, punishing Scarfy from pressing the parry button, which is, you know, something again, right? It's not...
Yeah, here we go, seeing the dragon taking over that inner drone.
Scarfy got it. Scarfy with the immediate revenge with the punishing blade on Shinobi. Say, look, I don't appreciate what you did to me, I'm gonna do you dirty right back. Good 2K for Scarfy. Excellent value out of the punishing blade, and +1 beta are looking to maintain their 2.7k lead.
Nice slash. Take those inner drones and you'll have a bigger hit.
Slay whiffs Power Buster, which gives Scarfy an opportunity to continue to increase aggression. Slay staying around too long. Finally makes the good decision to leave, and, well, gives Ori the room to punish. Scarfy, what are you pressing the parry button for? Once again, he gets punished for the parry. Red like a book. But while all that is happening, I mean, +1 is still maintaining their lead.
Good work here.
Really good conversion by Shinobi. We'll see if they continue their aggression. It looks like Calm is their next target.
Seems like there's a huge
Good bind by Ori. Good follow up by Shinobi. Rolu protecting Scarfy, but that's not going to be long. But Rolu said, "I'll protect my teammate by eliminating the opponent." Gets traded right back though with a beautiful tornado by Slay onto Scarfy. Silk also falls. Common is in a bad situation. They also fall. I mean, this is a comeback for HIME right now. The lead just went from +1's lead went from 4K to 2K. Again, excellent conversion by Shinobi. This is an even game. 40 seconds left. It all comes down to early. It all comes down to how +1 want to recover, right? And right now, Shinobi have the map control when they need to get the map control. All the big drones now, they'll be able to get there first, and they'll be able to, fight people away instead of trying to take the control of the space back. 25 seconds. Right now. I mean, Shinobi is still converting these E-pawns. Absolutely amazing play by Shinobi. We'll see if it ends up being enough, because again, +1 has had the lead for most of this game. Good giant killer E-pawn, and I mean, this one is going to go down to the wire. This is going to come down to bonuses. So we are going to see triple E-pawn bonus. But it would be that if Shinobi did not have 6 E-pawns. So I wonder if they did that on purpose, because if they did, then that's a huge misreading of the situation that they were in. There's no way they were going to catch up to Shinobi and E-pawns, and I mean, Shinobi just won them that game. Excellent series of events towards the late game transition. HIME got map control, HIME got drone control, HIME kept converting, they kept pushing, and they turned what was a 4K deficit into a 1K victory. I mean, like I said, right? This team of HIME, hyper aggression, right? And when they play well, they play well. So this is just a really good stage comeback by HIME. Extremely amazing play.
You're on a roll today, Dan.
Look, that game was, they stole that game. They legitimately stole that game, right? In most circumstances, right, this 4K lead is something that's relatively secure, especially when you're running hammer trick ball, because right, your hammer should barely get interrupted and your trick ball should be doing the interrupting, but they just couldn't. They messed up one time in pushing off aggression, and they messed up at the one spot that they should not have messed up, right? That 60-second mark, that 40-second mark is super dangerous, and that's how leads just swing.
Yeah,
so,
like we did say before, the starting of the actual match, yeah, that does change the tide of battle, and you can be able to tell who was going to win in that. But in this case, the big drones and just like making out really good plays was what brought them back into what they needed to win the match.
The raw mechanical skill of their players. Again, as I said, all the players on HIME are extremely mechanically skilled, and that really shone through those last 40 seconds of that match, and really brought back what should have been a loss. Should be +1 beta should be 2-0 right now, but no. HIME said, let's make this a series. So coming into map 3 on Croissant Arena, pretty much what I expected, right? We're gonna be trading between Croissant and WNA Academy, right? Because until HIME proves that they can win on Croissant Arena, or they can challenge +1 beta on Croissant Arena, they're just gonna +1 beta is just gonna keep on picking it. So we'll see how HIME adjusts, and we'll see how +1 beta kind of fixes their mental coming into this game after losing what should have been a free win.
Croissant Arena is a map that I feel that, well, they definitely proved me wrong on that one. That +1 beta is definitely more comfortable with this, pretty much with the set here, with Croissant Arena, and I can definitely see them taking a lot more drones this time around.
So they started off with a new strategy, right? HIME all rolled out as 4, which is something that most teams don't normally do, but it ends up forcing +1 beta away, and Shinobi gets a quick KO at the start, and Scarfy's about to fall too. Silk goes down as well, and I mean, look, when these players start cooking, when Shinobi gets hot, when Slay gets hot, it's a huge disaster dealing with all of them. Right now, they're just rolling with the momentum. Not even giving +1 time to breathe in this match. Already starting off on the right foot. They'll have to figure
something out.
Early tries to go for the standard break setup, but Shinobi didn't even have enough gum guard for that setup to even work. And Shinobi does not want to let Rolu taking the drone when he knows Shinobi is gonna chase him, and he ends up just dying for free. You know, you have to know that, okay, I'm low HP and there's someone who's full HP behind me. You have to know that you're going to get chased down. And
some interactions you just have to avoid.
Yeah, and
that one, I don't think you could really avoid that.
Shinobi again. Shinobi, he's alive. He's cooking. He's probably in his voice chat popping off right now as we speak, because he's really come alive this game.
He's really wanting to bring this one back.
Yeah, and this is just a dominant 4K lead. But remember, similar to last game, right? You can't be safe. You can't look at your lead early game and think, okay, yeah, we got this, right? Because again, once mid game hits, once late game hits, once those big drones stop spawning, if you don't get them, it's a huge problem. And Silk.
Ooh, pretty good prediction there. It would have been all right.
Oh, Comet saves Silk's life. Silk did the what I like to call the Starling, when you throw your gum grenade at your feet and hope your opponent walks into it, gets away with it, and even though he didn't have his weapon, Comet's able to actually convert off of it.
Surprised he didn't do a Y attack with Tornado.
So we have moonwalking, invisible scarf punishing move, getting no value once again. True tragedy. And Slay and Ori laying the smack down. I mean, man got beat so bad you can't even see him anymore. Crazy.
It's gonna be pretty tough from here on out. Yep. But they're gonna have to go get those big drones if they really want to get this one back.
Shit, you saw that from Shinobi? He did the BR muscle memory right there, right? He doesn't have Utsu semi-master, but you saw, right? You saw how he wanted to drop the Utsu on the head. My man, he's so far. Shinobi is so far in the zone right now. He's treating this like a BR match. He said, "I am coming. I am going to find you. I'm going to epon you, and I'm not letting you go." And
treating it as a certain mindset it can be a really good thing.
And they've expanded their lead. I mean, I said 4K. Now this leads up to 7K.
Man, that's a really huge lead. So they can be able to bring this one back.
Silk manages to dodge Ori's punishing blade, and Ori gets 0 value out of it. We're seeing a lot of 0 value punishing blades. Rolu, though, this punishing blade I know is gonna have some value. Gets the big drone with it. Gets Slay with it. But leaves Shinobi for Comet. And look, you're really trying to out mechanic Shinobi. Can he pull it off? He does. Boom. You can add another one to the charts for Shinobi. He's absolutely on fire this game. But yeah, I just want you to take a look at the score. Take a look at the score, though. See how close it is now? Like I said, right? Just because you have this early lead does not mean you're safe. And with 5 seconds left, this is going to go down to bonuses. Shinobi, though, with the 3-6, again, will secure them the game.
It seems like that the Epon Master is pretty much off limits for +1 beta as of right now. But with that Drone Master, it's a pretty close match altogether.
Shinobi is the sole reason why they're in this series right now. Their individual play is what's letting HIME come away with these victories. He's on fire. He's alive. He's cooking. And if I'm +1 beta, I need to figure out how do we shut him down? How do we shut them down? How do we shut Shinobi down? Because he is tearing our team apart. He's creating so much space for the rest of his teammates to function. He's creating so much pressure on +1 beta's members, you know, to have to deal with this threat all the time. So you have to ask yourself, how do we deal with this player who's causing us this much trouble? And the answer,
my suggestions there.
Yeah, I mean, what would you do, Naza, if you're in this position? You know, this one player has been cooking you on offense, on defense, on special teams. What would you do?
Well, I do know that parries are one of the main factors for, you know, getting a lot of epons as well. So if you get your predictions right, then you can pretty much get a lot of epons within a lot of time in that game. So I would say that if I were, in a situation where I'm fighting someone like Katana, I'd try to leave myself. I'll try to, escape from those parries. Again, like parries are very detrimental. If you're not sure, or if you're not really wanting to take the risk, always dash out and try to find another approach. Because if you're fighting them and you instigate their parry, if you start their parry, they'll lose S energy. But you'll also be able to dash out, and they'll still not have their S energy. So you can be able to go in there again and pretty much just fight them without like a parry for them, since they need to have 5 S energy bars in order for it to work.
I agree in full. So
unless they have stun burst.
Heading into game 4, I mean, Silk's probably like, nah, that was lucky. They were lucky. Shinobi popped off. Whatever, run it back. We'll get it this time. And honestly, I don't blame him, or I don't blame them for making that decision. But we'll see if they can not fall down, because if +1 Beta didn't fall down to that early 6K lead, right, this game looks a lot different. But
they'll have to pull off some stunts.
They're starting off hot with 2 Epons back to back right in the early beginning of the game. And I mean, this
need to focus on getting those drones.
This is really bad. Another KO, and I mean, early game is just +1s right now.
Perfect.
This is +1's early game, straight up. Shinobi though wins a parry, and they might be looking for more blood. We'll see. Good polymorph by Comet. Slay should die here. Gunbound, so it should be an Epon. Excellent work by Comet.
Nice Epon with the Sonic sticker.
And now it's the 1v1. Shinobi versus Comet. Who's gonna come out on top? Comet makes a smart choice to back off, but it will cost them their life. Good Epon by Shinobi.
Really did sell the score.
Silk though trading back with the Epon on Ori, and I mean, +1 Beta 2K lead early game. A lot better position than last game.
Like I said, don't miss the bus. Keep on getting those drones, just
so
if you know what's best for you.
Once again, Scarfy popping Punishing Blade. Okay.
Okay, that does.
Even if Scarfy trades one for that Punishing Blade, they're popping Punishing Blade with no one around and nothing to do. And again, right, getting 0 value Punishing Blades is extremely detrimental, right? And Ori does show. Ori is a really good example of what a value Punishing Blade is, by not only allowing their team to fight for the drone, but also getting an Epon out of it. And I mean, the 2K lead that +1 had, gone. Absolutely gone. And now, I mean, we're even game, anyone's game.
Alright, now this is the 100-second mark. That means that the hangar drones are up and ready for grabs.
And this is where the real game starts.
Get those.
Silk and Comet on it first, and Silk farming Tornado. Comet, I mean, Silk's just gonna leave Comet here. Comet's just dead straight off of conversions, but
huge break.
Yeah, Cutie gets a little too aggressive, trying to use the wide attack when they really should just be hitting the drone. Good Tornado by Silk to secure it, and I'm gonna go next. Good Epon on Rolu by Ori. Almost dies to the parting Utsusemi, but
that's the scary part.
Almost dies to the parting Utsusemi, and Scarfy's hunting Ori down. You better run, Ori. Scarfy already claiming 1 with the Punishing Blade, and looking to claim 2. Popping Punishing Blade with no HP again. The Punishing Blades this series have been some of the oddest I've seen. You know, Punishing Blade when they don't have HP to properly use it. Popping Punishing Blade when there's nothing around to do. It's extremely suboptimal, but good conversion by Slay. And I mean, this drone needs to be taken. Good Punishing Blade by Rolu. Steals the drone and forces Slay away. And off of that, right, that small lead that +1 had, just grew a little bit bigger. So with 20 seconds left, right, it's a 3K lead. This might come down to bonuses if he may play this properly, but it looks like +1's just gonna keep this in the bag.
You've got to play the cards right.
Yeah.
There's only 10 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure if there's enough time to really find a big drone that would be able to suit that kind of point average.
5 seconds left, and I mean, Scarfy. Ori with 8 Epons though, and they have drone. Oh, this game was a little bit closer than it should have been. Ori 8 Epons. almost allowed their team to bring it back. But you know how I mentioned earlier, right? How do we shut this star player down? How do we shut Shinobi down? He was held to such. This was such a quiet game from Shinobi. Like,
definitely,
the impact that they had on this game is far less. Don't worry about it. Don't. I don't want to talk about it. The impact that they had on this game was infinitely less than of the previous 2 games that HIME won. So, I mean, this is going to a game 5. Well, it's going to a game 5 as soon as I can get into the room.
The stakes are pretty high.
Yeah. And I expect WNA game 5 for the same reason why most teams pick WNA, right? Shinobi was cooking, Ori's probably feeling good, so they might just say WNA, and we're just going to individually and mechanically outplay them. That's how I view it.
That's true. You know, high stakes here.
Yep.
You know, newcomers versus veterans. This is a pretty large battle.
Third game 5 of the day as well. And I mean,
they'll have to figure out a way to, organize their specials and not waste them. I know Croissant Arena is a new stage, right?
Yeah,
so there's a lot
big.
of things to consider when coming to using your specials in what area and stuff like that. But for WNA, it's important to just, use your specials at the right time, know what you're doing or know what you're planning to do before you start throwing that thing out, because if people are aware of you, then they're going to take you out when you're about to start up your punishing blade, which happens quite a lot.
Yep.
And
I know I mentioned I know of course I'm singling out Scarfy for their punishing blades, but the reason why I'm doing this is this is BR. This is how you use punishing blade, how people use punishing blade in BR. Right? They pop the punishing blade and then they look for something to do, right? Because BR, the game changes so quickly that you have to be able to. You just react. You don't predict. But in teams where things are a little bit more controlled, you have freedom to use punishing blade only when you know that you can. Only when you know that you're going to get value out of it.
It has the same sort of premise with Rocket.
Yeah.
You're not just going to throw a Rocket win at any point in time, right?
Yes.
Or you're not going to throw a Dragon when there's nothing around. Do the same thing with Punishing Blade, and you'll probably get more results than what you probably would never thought of, actually.
Yeah. Like, these games, right? If these games pan out a lot differently, right? If Scarfy, instead of Scarfy using Punishing Blade, while they're by themselves, in the middle of nowhere, if they're using Punishing Blade as a countermeasure, a counterattack against this team's aggression, it really, it impact the game a lot more, right? But irregardless of that, I was wrong in my prediction. Instead of WNA, we're gonna see an Eagle City. Now this map, I think HIME has the advantage, right? Because
variety here.
Yeah, they have Katana and Caliber players, and there's a lot of airspace on Eagle City, and the amount of airspace on Eagle City allows a lot more fights to happen and a lot less player interference, especially since yo-yos have kind of phased out of the metagame. So helping from range is something that not many weapons can do.
A very valuable thing to have.
Yep.
And also, gum ninjutsus are also very valuable in this stage as well. Since it's a very large stage, a lot of things can be avoided. So just be really careful.
Ori is absolutely alone. Ori, what are you doing? You're crazy for being this alone. But just choosing to take a 1v2 when they don't actually have to. They managed to get away, but that was super risky, right? If Ori dies there, early game's kind of just over. But even trades mid, 1-for-1, either side.
Parry bubbles.
No, this is just Massey Rolu, good E-Pawn. No one punishes Scarfy for the S-Burst, but except for Ori, who punishes afterwards. Only for the KO, though.
Alright. Some drones are up for grabs. For testing time, pretty much.
Ori misses the conversion off of the overpowering wave on Rolu, but, it's nothing too big, right? the thing to watch this game though is punishing blade usage, right? Because again, how I said there's a lot of open space. It means that even though you might have more places to run, your opponent has also has more places to go. And I mean, Scarfy with the first punishing blade, Rolu with the second. I mean, both of them get one out of it. Beautiful trade, and there's a really solid 2K lead for +1 alpha, or +1 beta. Sorry.
Good way of using Sushi X. And of course, someone just kind of caught to him.
Ooh, Rolu disregards the super armor to KO Slay, and I mean,
yeah,
this lead's only getting bigger.
Yeah, parry armor is interesting because like you can be able to win out most of those attacks, right? But you can still die from it. So if you are, low health, then don't try doing that too much, because you'll always leave yourself in a situation where you will end up trading with the person.
Indeed. And I mean, I mentioned before Naza started talking how the lead was getting bigger. Now the lead's getting smaller again. They're closing in on a. They reduced this 2K lead to 2K deficit to a 1K deficit, and they're looking to claw back even further. Good Epon on Scarfy by Ori.
Huge smackdown.
Shinobi looking for the conversion on Silk. Slay will find it. Rolu though trading off with the punishing blade. Gets 2 with the punishing blade actually, and that kind of puts a stop to any sort of immediate comeback from Hime. They're gonna have to regroup and try to push this deficit away once again.
Right there. We got big drones now, so I'm guessing that there is one over on their side as well.
Yep.
Maybe not.
Ori pops punishing blade, and somehow, some way, Rolu manages to stop Ori in their tracks. Gets traded, but stopping the punishing blade is so much higher value. Oh, Comet dashes the wrong way. Gets red. Scarfy though, not there in time to save Comet, but is there in time to trade 1-for-1, meaning that nothing gained, nothing lost. And I mean, they're look at the score, look at the time. This is coming down to bonuses, right? And if I'm Hime, I'm saying let's play bonuses. But Hime is still pushing, and I mean they have a 1K lead, right? If Hime has Epon Master, then this game is just, they have a 2K lead now. And with 10 seconds left, I mean, is it enough? Right now,
big drone.
Rolu might be the savior that +1 needed this whole time. Rolu? Is it enough? Is it enough?
Ooh.
Is Rolu's Epon Master enough to secure this win? Oh my goodness. Wow. That's absolutely insane. Even though Rolu, with the 3-7 scoreline, 7 Epons in that game, once again, they just don't manage to close these games out, right? You have all 3 games that Hime won. They won off of bonuses, right? Epon Master, Drone Master, and it's just so crazy, right? How these players on Hime, right? They really step up when they need to step up, right? Like, and I honestly, believe me, if you told me the reason why Hime would win this series is only off of bonuses, I would have told you you're insane. Because you would expect a team like this, right? Even though it's an evenly skilled match, you expect these games to not have to go to bonuses, right? And you expect +1 beta to be able to close out games better because of the veteran team, but Hime somehow manages to just bring it back from the depths of hell, and I mean, somehow, some way, they end up winning the series.
Hey, Hime did a really amazing job with making sure that they have the Epon Master and the Drone Masters for every match that they were in, at the very least. +1 did a very good job with composition, composure, and, well, actually, with the whole comp that they had a really huge advantage.
Yeah.
That's a really strong, set.
Like,
Yes.
with trick ball, like, you'd figure that a trick ball would just jam the enemy. You're up against a katana, and you're up against what is it, a caliber, right? And trick ball really makes those two weapons lives hell. I mean, you can see it in I mean, the BR players, some of the BR katana players know just how annoying trick ball can be. I mean, Shinobi, not even a couple of days ago, was talking about just how broken trick ball is. But in this 4v4 environment, he handled it like an absolute pro, and he somehow managed to bob and weave and dodge around, ever running into Comet and having Comet ruin his game flow.
Trick ball is such a perfect tool for team battles. If not, just having it like in your team can just help immobilize a lot of players that would otherwise be huge threats to your game plan. So
Absolutely,
it's very important to just seeing this all together. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be seeing, or we're going to be seeing a lot of trick balls just because of this play alone. Seeing how they played, it's really amazing.
Even still, right? You'd figure that a trick, like, obviously with how people have been talking about how the metagame is shaping out, you'd figure that a trick ball would be kind of like an instant win. It'd be kind of like, because, like, I mean, you look at most tier lists that people drop. If you look at you look at some of the tier lists from the Japanese players, right? Trick ball is extremely high in value, but is trick ball high in value because it's good, or is trick ball high in value because sound hammers at the top level are really strong? And, like, right, I mean, I'm right next to, probably the best sound hammer in North America, and he'll tell you, Naza will tell you what I'm going to tell you, that trick ball and sound hammer, they don't get along very well, right? But trick ball by itself and sound hammer by itself, somehow, some way, there might be some kind of disconnect there, right? Because running one without the other, I'm not quite sure. But, I mean, this is just an absolutely amazing game, absolutely amazing series, and, I mean, hopefully, the next game, about to be another Game 5, EPOM Masters versus Imperium Perfect, the Latin American showdown, coming up soon. See you guys in a bit.
Sorry about that.